I knew that I had to connect the two of them. Upon receiving her approval, I texted Alex and asked if he was open to being set up with my friend. The first question he asked was, "Does she love Jesus?" To which I replied, "More than anyone I know." They went out for coffee later that week, and the rest is history. What strikes me more than the way the idea itself came about is the initial question that Alex asked, "Does she love Jesus?" I knew at that moment that he was the perfect match for Hollyn. They both have such strong faiths and put that relationship first before anything else. Their love for the Lord is just one of the many qualities that I am confident will keep them together forever. Hollyn is considerate and compassionate. She will never let any conversation or action go unnoticed. She will fight for the two of them forever. Alex is calculated and a planner. While life is sure to throw some curveballs, they will be at least a little bit prepared. I couldn't have picked a better partner for either of them if I had done it myself. Oh wait, I did. This is the part of the speech where I'm supposed to give advice to the happy couple. However, I don't have much experience, so I have looked to the people in our lives that have taught me the most about marriage and family. They're old pros. Emphasis on the old. From Mr. and Mrs. Nay, don't take yourself too seriously and learn to laugh at the silly things you do. Because when you do, it gives others the freedom to laugh too, and life is nothing without laughter. From Mr. and Mrs. McQuiston, life will take you on crazy adventures, but when you have the right partner by your side, it will all turn out okay. From Mr. and Mrs. Metter, a good cookie recipe is a surefire way to make your children's friends never want to leave your house. But in all seriousness, creating an environment they can consider a second home is something they will appreciate and never forget. From my parents, when you have an issue with your partner and want to go running to your parents, friends, or children to vent, don't. Turn that car around and work it out with one another. Driving around 465 to cool off doesn't hurt either. And from all of them, you have the ability to influence the lives of those around you, both younger and older than yourself. That doesn't mean you have to have the perfect marriage or the perfect family. Just be true to yourself and trust that God has a plan for your lives. Now, let's raise our glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs. Alex Swider. May your life be filled with joy, and may this be the day you love each other the least. Cheers.
Come on, hurry up, Joel. Let's go.
So I was 3 years old when I met Alex. Yes, we have been brothers his whole life. And while we may have been brothers for Alex's whole life, I was an only child for 3 years before Alex was born. And in that time, I had managed to work up quite a following, especially of the female variety. And I had no bigger fan than my Grandma Wilson, my dad's mom. Although Alex wasn't exactly what I had pictured when he was born, things really came to a head the first time that we visited Grandma Wilson's house. Instead of the usual toys, treats, and general affection that were customarily lavished upon me, that love and attention and affection was being directed toward Alex. Exclusively toward Alex. I was hurt, I was puzzled, and I knew there was only one solution. So I marched back in the room, and addressing my mother, I demanded, "Go back to the hospital, cut open your tummy, and put him back." Happy to report things have improved between us since then. My parents decided to keep Alex, and Al, I know it's a little late, but I'm sorry. Just this once I can say I am glad that Mom and Dad did not take my advice. But as I said, things did improve. Rather than trying to slap a return to sender label on Alex, I came to see him as more of a mere annoyance. See, Alex and I are very different people. Ever since I learned what germs were and that they can cause disease, I've been avoiding them, well, like the plague. Alex, on the other hand, I still don't think he knows what germs even are. There was a time growing up when, after a meal, we were enjoying an ice cream cone. Alex had finished with his and wanted more, so he decided to knock mine onto the floor, knowing that I would never want it after that. I didn't, and so Alex proceeded to scoop it up, blow it off lightly, and eat it. Did I mention this was at McDonald's? And then, of course, there are all the times that Alex has and continues to return the family dog's kisses in kind. Hollyn, you can think about that one on your honeymoon. There are other dichotomies between us as well. I've always been very cautious, whereas Alex is a bit more of a daredevil. Growing up, we had a very steep driveway, and Alex used to wear these shoes with wheels built into the heel. Remember those? He would wear them pretty much everywhere, but the best place that he wore them was on my parents' driveway. It was very steep, long, probably akin to a blue run on a ski slope, if you're all familiar with that. And he would take the trash out wearing these shoes. Admittedly, it was faster. But one time he got going so fast that he got to the edge of the driveway, couldn't stop. So he goes zooming across the street, off the edge of the road, does a somersault, and ends up in the ditch, still clutching the trash cans. Trash is everywhere. And he, of course, just runs back to the house to tell us all about his latest adventure. He has always been a resilient guy, I have to give him that. I'm more of a planner. Alex, on the other hand, literally one time delayed our sister's birthday dinner because he was out buying her a present at the last minute. That present turned out to be a hamster, which my parents had strictly forbidden him from purchasing. And he was soon enjoying life in the wilderness of my parents' backyard.
The hamster, not Alex.
For a couple days.
No, it's Alex.
I've always been a bit reserved, whereas Alex wears his heart on his sleeve. He used to give my friends hugs, even kisses when they come to our house. It was a little weird. I could go on, but the point is that I never really understood Alex. I had a hard time respecting him because I mistook his frivolity as carelessness and his playfulness as harassment. That was until Alex truly came to know the Lord. While Alex had been a Christian his whole life, it was in college that he came to have a personal relationship with Christ and to realize that he should be living in light of eternity. It's been one of my greatest rewards as an older brother to witness the transformation in his heart and to see how his faith has come to guide his decision-making, his lifestyle, and of course, his choice in a wife. Alex was blessed to have several great mentors in college, many of whom are here tonight. These are young men who lived out their faith, even when it went against the current. And at times in college, that current is nearly overwhelming. I think through their example and through, of course, his own personal study of the Bible, Alex's life began to change direction. His recklessness, his lack of concern, they turned into an easygoingness, flexibility, and a willingness to quickly forgive others. He doesn't sweat the small stuff, and he has an uncanny ability to make the best out of a less than perfect situation. He started to be a planner. As Anna said, rather than doing things at the last minute, when he met Hollyn, he actually started making reservations when they would go to dinner. He would vacuum out his car.
No more McDonald's.
His old frivolity has matured into an enjoyable spontaneity and a sense of humor, which is, for the most part, very endearing. His strange and effusive displays of affection have made him into a warm, loyal friend with a big heart and great compassion for others. He's become a man of prayerful decision-making rather than of impulsiveness. He made a decision a few years ago that he was not going to date another girl unless she shared his strong commitment to Christ and was living her life for God. Little did he know, years prior, Hollyn had made a similar commitment. In retrospect, it seems that the Lord was grooming Alex and Hollyn for the day that they would eventually meet and fall in love. By living at home the first few years of his career, Alex has been able to save money for a beautiful house for the two of them. He's become goal-oriented and disciplined. In short, Alex puts God first and family as a close second. These are traits that have inspired even me, and they should be an inspiration to all of us. I've come to conclude that through all of Alex's past mistakes his close calls, and even his quirks. In Hollyn, there really are not that many quirks. All right, there may be a few. God has been preparing Alex to be a responsible and loving husband and a great provider for his family. Alex, it's my privilege to be your friend and to call you my brother. You've been an inspiration to me, and I know you will be to Hollyn and to your eventual family. So if you all would please join me in a toast to a joy-filled and blessed marriage for Alex and Hollyn Swider.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for the toast from the great Hollyn.
That's not his brother. Who'd Alex hire? Alex hired him.